Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. Now, I'm a little under the weather today. Uh, I'm hoping it's not too apparent. I can hear it in my voice. It's a bit lower and muffled than usual, but I'm going to power through this and get y'all an episode out today because apparently I was told I wasn't allowed to do one yesterday. There was a specific request to cover a Rush song called Xanadu in honor of Neil Peart. I wasn't going to do anything for Neil Peart. I don't think it's right to kind of capitalize on something tragic. So um, I don't like the idea of this guy passed away. So come and watch my video, give me views. But it was specifically requested by a viewer, and it was a song I had never heard before by Rush. So I decided to go through with that, and it was blocked in everywhere except Canada and Japan. So it's sitting at 100 views right now. If you are in Canada or Japan and you got to see it, I'm glad that you guys got to see that. Otherwise, those are the countries you need to say you're from. You hit up the VPN. You probably get around that the partial block. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking into alternative places to post these videos. I know a lot of people end up doing a Patreon and putting the videos up on the Patreon servers. I might end up doing that. Otherwise, what is there, like Vimeo? I think Vimeo you have to actually pay to upload stuff. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into some alternatives because I'm not. This is the second video that's been blocked, and honestly, it's only been 2 in 30, 40 videos now, but it's still annoying, and I'd rather just not have to deal with it. So I'll be looking into some alternative places. And I'll try my best to get that Rush reaction up. It was a fantastic song, and I think I had some really good insight into it, so I definitely don't want it to just be lost to time. So I'll try to find a way to get it up. In the meantime, though, today we are doing Metallica, Spit Out the Bone. It is a request from my father, who is probably the world's biggest Metallica fan. He even enjoyed Saint Anger for a while until I got him to tune into the drums, and now now it's not so much his favorite. Also, new stuff has come out since then, so. But I have not listened to anything off of either of Metallica's 2 new albums. The last one I heard was Saint Anger. So let's see where they have gone since, what was that, the mid to late 2000s? This one is Spit Out the Bone off of their new album. I think it's Hardwired to Destruction. Hardwired to, I don't know, something like that. And yeah, let's get this. Let's see what Metallica's doing these days. Getting right into it. Not kidding anybody. Alright, so, the last thing I heard from Metallica was Load, Reload, Saint Anger. They were doing hard rock, and then they were trying to do like a new metal sound to Saint Anger. And it's interesting to hear them going back to their roots with thrash metal, but having modern production values and qualities. But the cool thing is despite everything, there being 15 or 20 years between something like Ride the Lightning or Master of Puppets and this, it's still very distinctly Metallica, but it's evolved. It is not the same Metallica that we knew. They still love to ride that open string though. That almost feels like a Megadeth riff where they slow it down um, for just a bar or two. Real interesting stuff. It actually doesn't slow down. It goes into a halftime feel. It's probably the same tempo. They're just playing half as many notes there. Now this is interesting for Metallica. The texture on that guitar in the part right before here was very distinctly not a sound I would usually give to Metallica. They usually have a very clean sound, high production values, and that almost had like an old-timey radio bit to it. So it's good to hear them playing with textures and sounds. I'm assuming that was done with big pedals or amps or something. That was a nice couple of bars here and there to let the drummer shine through. Lars the drummer. It wasn't a lot of technical stuff, but he had some double bass kicks in there that kind of added some nice flavor to the section. I like this melodic solo part. Usually, I expect Metallica to just kind of shred. It's good to hear them have a nice melody in the guitars. Alright, we got some backing vocals. Harmony? It was only 2 notes, but there was some vocal harmony there. Good synergy between the guitars and drums there. Alright, got a nice halftime feel going on here. Alright, so we're back into what I think was the intro. Just typical thrash stuff. Shred solo. I like that there's a little bit more melody, and I said that about the last one, but I like that arpeggiation. definitely one of their better solos. More buried than usual. That's what I appreciate about it. All right, so that was Metallica. Spit Out the Bone. Uh, let's see. I'm trying to approach this from the idea that Metallica has evolved in some way and changed the way that they've approached the writing process or the playing process. And from that perspective, I think Metallica has definitely changed over the years. A lot of people I've heard talk about the new albums as a return to form. Uh, as evident with this song, and they've returned to thrash metal, which is something that they were real big on in the early days. Um, Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets are huge thrash albums, and this is them returning to where they started, but they didn't just rehash what they've done before. There were a lot of new ideas in this song that I haven't heard Metallica do before. Um, Although, like I said, I have not listened to Death Magnetic, so I don't know if this is something that they've already been experimenting on, and this is more of a refinement of that, or if this is their first attempts at it. I'm not really sure where that falls on Metallica's timeline, but they've definitely improved as a band as far as my opinion goes. Um, they do a lot of time shifts, even though the tempo stays the same. I'm pretty sure the tempo was the same throughout, but they had time shifts where they basically changed the feeling of the time instead of the actual time signature or the tempo. They just played half as many notes or twice as many notes to make it feel faster or slow it down. And it's a simple time modulation, but it's interesting that they've incorporated it so heavily into the song and possibly even their repertoire at large. I haven't, listened to the rest of the album. I'm not sure how this fits in. This could be an anomaly, but they also had a lot of moments of melodic interlude, which is not entirely uncommon, but it was something that they did a lot in their rock age. You heard it a lot on the Black album. Um, and Load and Reload, and it's nice to hear it incorporated into their old thrash metal style where they take a moment to kind of settle down a bit and play some more melodic lines. And it also shows up in the guitar solo. Um you know apologies, still trying to get over this sickness. And the guitarist is soloing, he's shredding, just hammering out notes, and he takes a couple of bars to just kind of chill down a little bit and play something a little more melodic before going back into the shred and then bouncing back to the melody. And I think it shows a lot of maturity in Metallica that they can write these solos that show off their skill, but also, show off their technical skill, but also show off their musicianship. Um, that's definitely not something I would have expected from Metallica, and it's nice to hear that they are, getting better at their craft. As far as I'm concerned, they kind of peaked and they repeated what they did over and over for a while. A lot of Metallica sounds the same even as they shifted genres. Once they started going into the hard rock stuff of the mid to late 90s, it was still distinctly Metallica, and it was the same thing that they had done previously, just not a million notes a second. So it's good to hear that they are, uh, I don't want to say adapting, but growing as musicians. It feels like they finally have the want or the drive to really hone in their craft. I, I feel like it's possible. I don't know them, so I'm really just speculating here. But it feels like a lot of the fame and being the number one metal band ever and just completely selling out every venue they've ever played at, they just got kind of I don't know. They got set in their ways. They didn't really challenge themselves, and I feel like this song, it's not going way outside of their wheelhouse. It's not, a drastic change of form, but it is a push in a new direction. And I like that they've been experimenting more. Like I said, the last album I heard was Saint Anger, and while a lot of fans hate the album, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the right word. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was Metallica being experimental and trying new things and thinking outside the box, and I think every artist needs to do that regardless of how poorly it's received. So it's good to see that they can continue to experiment and try new things and really hone their craft and figure out who they are when they are at their best instead of when they're just phoning it in. And for it to be well received, because I would hate for their creativity to be shot down every time and they feel like they basically feel pigeonholed. And I hope that's not, how they feel about their music, that they feel like they have to play a specific genre or specific style. I like to see them branching out, especially with them being one of the biggest names in rock in general, rock, metal, all of it. So, yep, that is my thoughts on Metallica. Shout out to my dad for requesting the song. It's nice, like I said, it's nice to hear bands evolve and improve over time. And getting to listen to Metallica again was a little bit of a treat. And let me know what you guys think. Put it down in the comments. Do you like Metallica's new stuff? Uh, did you just did you just stop being a fan? Around the Saint Anger or Load Reload days, and you just never got a chance to check them out. I mean, it's pretty much what happened to me. I wasn't the biggest fan, but I enjoyed the stuff they put out. But I don't know. I just stopped listening to them, and most of it is because, like I said, a lot of it was just the same old stuff. They weren't really changing, and this is kind of what I wanted from Metallica. Now, unfortunately, in the last decade since Saint Anger and stuff came out, my tastes have changed wildly. I can't really say I would go out of my way to listen to this, but I would not turn it off. It was on. It is good music. I enjoy it. And it's good to hear that they're evolving. I don't expect them to move into anything progressive or start doing wild key changes in the middle of a song or time signature shifts or anything like that. I know who Metallica is, and that was I don't expect them to adhere to my taste, but it's good to hear that they are moving in a forward momentum and they're not stagnating. So yeah, I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, last day of the week. All right, one more video. That's not true because Saturday I got a special video for you. Um hint number 3 for that special video. So it's going to be a band that I've reacted to before, and I think that was yesterday's hint. Anyways, though, it is going to be a full album review. And it is going to be a full album review because every song has been requested off of the album. And I had to go out of my way. Well, no, that's not the right way. I actually had to go purchase this album for the reaction. Um, I did not already own it, but I was introduced to this band through you lovely people, and uh, I am intrigued by the band. And since every song has been requested off of this album, I'm just going to do the whole album as a 1,000 subscriber um, celebration. Tomorrow's hint is going to give it all away. I'm going to tell you the name of the band and the album. And then, of course, Saturday will be the day with the video. So I want to thank you all again for the 1,000. We've already passed 1,100, I believe. We are just moving right along. Some of that is a big thanks to the Nightwish Army. Huge support from them. Uh, I reacted to Nightwish on Tuesday, I think it was, and tons of support. I mean, subscribers just skyrocketed that day. So, all of you people are amazing. You keep giving me these fantastic recommendations, and I probably should save all of this praise and thanks for the Saturday video when we actually celebrate the 1,000. But I am honestly in awe that we've already passed the 1,000 mark, and it's just kind of spewing out of my mouth right now. So, yep, we'll be back Friday and then a special Saturday video. So until then, you all have a fantastic day, and I'll be back tomorrow.